Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style.
Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about graphing the three forms, part 3, point slope form. Let's take a look at the definition of point slope. Here we are, point slope form. So when you're given one point and the slope of a line, we can use point slope form. The line passes through that point, x1, y1, with a slope of m. So we can write that as y minus y1 equals m, parentheses, x minus x1. This is point slope form. Let's use it in a few examples. So here we are at example A, and it says write an equation of a line in point slope form that passes through the point -3, 4, with a slope of 1/3. So we're first going to need our point slope equation so that we don't forget it. So that's going to be y minus y1 equals m, parentheses, x minus x1. So now that we have that, we're just going to plug in the things that we know. So we know that y is going to stay as y. Now we have minus y1 and y is positive 4. So we're going to do minus 4. We're going to equal m, and our slope is going to be 1/3 in this case, as they told us that here in the problem. Then we're going to put parentheses. We're going to have x minus x1. Now this is key because the x is a -3 in this case. So when we have minus a minus, that's going to become plus, and we're going to have positive 3 inside the parentheses. So now we can see that we've written our equation in point slope form, and we're all done. Let's go on to example B. So here at example B, it says write an equation of a line in a point slope form that passes through the points 3, 1 and -9, -3. So we've got a few steps to follow here. So first of all, in order to write it in point slope form, we have to have the slope, which we don't currently have. So we're going to first do that by using our slope formula, and we know that that's going to be m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that we know our slope formula, we can go ahead and plug in the information that we have. So that we know that m is going to be equal to -3 minus 1, and we're going to have -9 minus 3. We do all that, we end up with positive 1/3. So our slope is going to be 1/3. So now that we have our slope, we can make point slope form. Now, it doesn't matter which point that we pick. Both of the points, if we put in point slope form, will give us the same line. So that part doesn't matter. We can pick whichever one we're comfortable with. I'm going to pick 3, 1, but it doesn't mean that we couldn't pick the other one as well. So we're going to do y minus, we're going to be minus 1. It's going to be equal to m, which we now know is our slope. Parentheses, we're going to have x minus 3, close parentheses. And we've written our equation in point slope form, and we're ready to go on to the next example. Here we are at example C, and it says convert the equation y minus 4 equals 3, parentheses, x plus 2, into slope-intercept form. All our old friend slope-intercept. So our slope-intercept form, as we know, is going to be y equals mx plus b. If we're not sure about that, we want to go back and watch part 1 of this series so that we can know what slope-intercept form is. So that we've got this in point slope, so we're going to go about making sure that we end up in y equals mx plus b. To do that, we're going to essentially use what we learned about literal equations back in Unit 3. Again, if we didn't know what that is, we're going to go back in Unit 3 and watch that video in order to get y by itself. So we've got y minus 4 is going to be equal to 3, parentheses, x plus 2. So we're trying to get the y by itself, and so that we end up in y equals mx plus b. So we're going to draw our wall, and the first thing we need to do is distribute. So we're going to distribute our 3 to our x and our 3 to our positive 2. We do that, y minus 4 is untouched, so that's just going to come on down. 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 2 is going to be positive 6. All right, our next step is to get that y by itself. So to do that, we're going to add 4 to both sides, add 4 to both sides. These are going to cancel, leaving me with 4. Y equals 3x, because I can't combine 4 with the x, but I can combine 4 with positive 6 to end up with positive 10. So now I've got my form in slope-intercept form, and it's on to the last example. So here we are, we're going to graph in point slope form. So we've got the graph of the function y minus 5 equals 1/2 x minus 2. So we can see this is in point slope form. So we know that our point slope form equation, we're going to write that up here just so that we have it, is going to be y minus y1 equals m, which is our slope, parentheses, x minus x1. So we know that every time that we have our points, they're going to be with a minus sign in front of them. So as long as we can convert them back to the point, then we know the point the line is going to have to go through, and we already have our slope of 1/2 here, so we know we don't have to worry about that. So since we're going to have minus y1, it's going to take that minus 5 and become positive 5 for our y. And then we have minus 2, so we know that's going to become positive 2, because again, both of these were being subtracted inside point slope form, so we know that they're not going to be actually the point, they're going to be positive. So we know that we're going through the point 2, 5. So we're going to go over to 2 and up to 5. And then we know our slope is 1/2. So we're going to just go up 1 and over 2 for each of our 1. So up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. We can do the same thing in the same direction or in the other direction. We go down 1 and over 2, down 1 over 2. That will help us make a line. So now we're going to go ahead and make our line. Again, it's going to go all the way through the graph, doing the best I can here with arrows on the end, because remember, these lines go on forever and ever, and we have graphed our function. That brings us to the end of this problem. It also brings us to the end of this set of notes. If you like this video, go ahead and throw a thumbs up. If you love this video, go ahead and throw a sub, and we will catch you in the next one.
나는 선어해 낮에는 너만큼 따사로운 그런 선어해